So Saul, the guy he's talking to here,
Mhm.
you've got to hear his plan. He looked to history for his book. He looked to history for and the Great Depression for like how we handled these things. And he said that the thing that brought us out of the Great Depression, I don't know, I didn't look into it, he did, but was the public works and the infrastructure rebuild and the creation of the modern day mortgage and being able to finance vehicles from like GM and stuff, and that the Federal Housing Authority was created. I think he said 1934, the Fannie Mae, to allow people to spend loads of money, but at super low interest rates. So what he is proposing in his book that just happened to be ready now is
Mm.
that we can save the planet and save the economy by having a massive infrastructure bill put together that looks like a financing package for people to be able to buy and retrofit their homes for like electric heat pumps and solar panels, and all get electric vehicles. And that the added bonus is he works a lot with the Department of Energy, and that when they switch to having the electric heat pumps and the solar and the batteries and the electric vehicles, that those are all able to be turned into like a blockchain grid, that the deal would be that you're allowing when I don't need power, but my neighbor does, so everybody's hooked up together, and it making little local like power plants basically, instead of the big generation elsewhere, to do it small, but you have to share. And that this would make us accomplish the Paris commitments way earlier. But how can we do it? Because people wouldn't go for the government going way in debt. Private banks, private individuals will loan the capital, and we can, because he said that to just focus on solving the pandemic issue is a drop in the bucket. We need something big. What's big? Go Green Deal, the new Green Deal thing. And that this is how they say this is how the U.S. beat Russia in the Cold War, because we had all this, all the people were so wealthy and happy, and it was easy. But that this would solve the jobs crisis, he's saying, because most of the solar, I think he said 50% of the solar installations are by like mom and pop companies. And yeah, he's saying this would create 20 to 30 million jobs over 10 years, but that retrofit everything. And then some homes are just not going to be worth it. So I imagine there's some lovely high rises they could build.
It's all in the timeline of Agenda 2032.
Absolutely.
So this is what we're seeing, folks, and the warning signs were everywhere. I mean, behind the scenes, they've been orchestrating all this stuff. It just hasn't been as in your face until right at this moment, or right this year, basically, with the whole coronavirus. Now, all of a sudden, everything sustainable development is being pushed everywhere as the solution. Right. And a complete restructuring of everything, our economy, our food, right. Our energy, everything is being transitioned. And so the goal is to have this all in place by 2030. And then by that time,
and he's saying we could crush that goal.
Yeah, exactly. So that's very interesting that you were able to catch this one.
Yeah, there's actually, that channel is super interesting. There's a talk on there on the cultured meat stuff that I have so many screenshots and notes from that, but I haven't gotten it done. But people should really, definitely interesting.
They're gonna be like, oh look, Jeff C just. But yeah, that's very interesting. I'll have to listen to this one.
Yeah.
And I've got it bookmarked here. Whoop, that one we did. You wanted to show something that we discussed before?
Yeah, we talked about you've been talking about the contact tracing for a while, and we talked about it right at this point on the link to this document is on my channel under the show. I have the link there, but the mirror of it. But yeah, that they were using it says Telefonica research in Spain. Weren't you just talking about Spain? But that they're working with this United Nations Global Pulse in Colombia for Zika tracking, and in Mexico for H1N1, and that that they were using the phone contacts and the text messages and all the data connections in order to be able to track and follow the outbreaks and whatnot, identify human movements. And when you go down into the source for this talk, it goes to this: can mobile phone traces help shed light on the spread of Zika in Colombia, which I think is the next link down that I sent you. And when you look through that, that's from 2018. And when you're looking through that, what does it say is the thing to couple with these call detail records is what they're calling it, is that the census data is, which I know we're doing that here. It's a horrible, look at that.
Wow.
They don't want you to read that.
They don't,
obviously.
They don't like paragraphs.
No, I had to print it, and I've got lines making it.
Like,
but
yeah.
They call it digital traces that they're being collected.
It's United Nations too, eh?
Oh, yeah.
Global Pulse.